This is the Mars 400S wireless video system from Hollyland, and right now I'm going to tell you exactly what I think of it, and I'm also going to tell you if it's right for you and if you should buy it. Okay, so let's get on with the video. Alright everyone, it's Hugh Sweeney here and welcome back to a new video. Now if you're new to this channel, let me tell you that it's all about video, filmmaking and photography, and of course the gear that goes with it, be it camera reviews, lenses, some tips and tricks. Plus I also upload a few of my short films as well, which you can watch if you'd like to just browse my channel. Alright, now that the intro's out of the way, let me tell you exactly what I think about the Mars 400S, which is a very affordable wireless video system from a company called Hollyland, which I think are basing their name on Hollywood, who knows. Now, this is a very affordable system and it's a lot cheaper than some of the competition and other products out there. So when a company makes something that's a good bit cheaper than the opposition, one has to kind of assume that the build quality might be a little bit cheaper because they have to save money. But I gotta say, as soon as I unboxed this, it felt great in the hands. I just knew straight away that it was a decent quality build. It's nicely machined, it has a metal structure and it has some great quality fixings. Even the on and off switch feels really good, and the way that the battery clicks in as well is fantastic. It's just really satisfying, and it goes straight in. And speaking of batteries, it takes these kind of standard Sony MP type batteries. Now I've only got a few of these, believe it or not, and the ones I have are quite big, and I would recommend that if you're using this system, particularly if you're fitting it on top of the camera, that you get the slimmer version of the battery, because they're not that battery hungry and you do get a good few hours. So these big batteries I have here is overkill. Now I didn't do battery tests, I didn't see how long it runs, but I can honestly tell you that I think the battery life of these isn't a problem for most, and you'll get great battery life out of them. Now batteries don't come with the device, you'll have to get your own, but it does come with a few different accessories like a power supply, a few little fixtures for mounting it on top of the camera, and a few little screws, and there's a 90-degree L bracket in there as well. And to be honest with you, I would have liked to see just maybe one or two better fixings for mounting it onto things like the Animos or maybe your cage or something. You're kind of stuck with this vertical mounted hot shoe thing, and it would be nice if there was something, a little mounting in there that was more articulated. That would be handier, but I'm really only nitpicking. Now the little aerials just screw on. It comes with 5 of them, that's one spare, and they just unfold to the left like that, and when you want to put it away you can just literally just fold them down like that, and it'll easily fit into your camera bag and you'll have no problems there. The devices just take up a very small footprint. They're very compact, which is great. So you have some cool connections. You got obviously the HDMI there. Beside the HDMI you have the SDI, and you have a USB-C connection there as well. Now I'm not sure if you can connect to other devices with the USB-C. Maybe you can, I haven't really tried that yet. And on the far side then you have the power in, which is a nice little threaded fixing there, meaning that if you want to just screw in the power, it's not going to pop out like they often do if you're moving around. And if you wanted as well, you could just power from a battery. An external battery will let you power in there as well, which is absolutely great. Now in terms of setup, it's absolutely instant. You literally just take it out of the box, click in a few batteries there, switch it on, make sure you've got the right cables connected up, and away you go. It'll work instantly. So it actually starts up really quick. It doesn't delay you much at all, and that's a great thing. Honestly, this is a total plug and play device. It's got minimal setup, and that's what I absolutely love about it. Now there's 3 buttons on the front here which you very rarely use. You can switch channels, but I haven't had a problem there yet. I've just switched it on and it picks its own channel, whichever one. It just sort of randomly picks a channel, but you can change a few different settings there as well. So you're probably wondering how I got on with the Mars 400S wireless system. Now I will admit, as a videographer who works alone a lot, and a lot of you guys do as well, a wireless video transmitter system like this isn't exactly on the top of the list, because us guys have a hierarchy of stuff that we want to get. Usually it's all about cameras and then lenses and microphones and maybe lights and a few other things like gimbals and dollies and stuff. And You know, wireless systems aren't at the top of the list, but it depends on the type of work you do. And for the type of work that I do, I never really thought about getting a system like this, but now that I have it, I've found all sorts of uses for it. And I'm not just saying that to try and butter it up because they sent it to me. It's just one of those little devices that you'll find uses for once you have it. I've been an avid Shogun Inferno user now for 3 years, and I use the big 7-inch screen when I like to record ProRes. And I always inevitably have to connect it up to the camera somehow, and I don't really use rigs. So I gotta say, having this separate, having this wireless system is really handy for me, because I was shooting in the woodlands a few times, you know, doing pieces to camera and talking about stuff, and I had to run over and back to the camera. So having a wireless system like this would be great. Plus for interviews as well. My girlfriend loves doing her own YouTube videos now, and sometimes I help her with them, and she hates it when I'm behind the camera. I have to stand away, so I have to set it and then run away so she can't see me. So having something like this would be great, where I could just be previewing the footage and making sure everything is exposed fine and recording properly as well without having to stand behind the camera. So in a lot of cases, you're going to use a system like this when you're on set and you want to kind of show the image that you're recording as a cameraman to either the director or the lighting person or someone else involved. It's obviously kind of aimed at that as well. You know, you could hook it up to a couple of big monitors on set and all that. That's not something that I'm going to use it for initially anyway, but it is kind of aimed at that. So the indie filmmaker market, especially at its price, I think it's absolutely ideal for that. And of course, you know, for guys like myself and maybe yourself as well, when you're working with clients and they want to preview the stuff, instead of them constantly breathing in over your shoulder, you could actually set up a separate monitor for them. Now, there's another thing you could do there as well. This does have great connectivity with the app that they provide, which is called the Hollyview app. It's a very simple app to just download from the Play Store and set up. It was really quick for me, and you get a lovely preview there on the app as well, and you can record there as well. It'll transmit to a few different phones as well. I don't know how many, but if you were involved with a few people on set on a bigger project where you had multiple people giving their input, you could just transmit it out there to their mobile phones and they're all happy out. Now, in terms of quality, if you're a filmmaker and you're going recording what you're transmitting, you really want to make sure that it's as good as a cable hardwired from the camera into your recorder. So you really don't want to be compromised. You don't want to have any artifacts or anything like that. And I can say that within the range that I've tried it at, around the house here and even further afield, the quality was absolutely bang on, and I couldn't see any difference between the quality of the 400S and an actual Atomos official cable as well, which I used to test it out. Now, I went out and tested it there the night before last, down towards the sea, and I mounted the camera up inside a window. So I've connected up the transmitter there on top of the camera. It's on the EOS R, and I have the receiver attached to the Atomos Inferno here. The bracket that comes with it, I just couldn't get it to connect here. I don't have enough fittings with me. It's just a silly thing on my behalf. So I'm gonna have to hold both items like this. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk right down to the shoreline there, which is about, I would say, 200 meters away, plus it's through the window. And you know, if it can broadcast that far, I think it's gonna be pretty good. So let's do this, all right. And it seemed to be fine at the start, and then all of a sudden it just completely vanished and I got the Hollyland signal. So it didn't sort of break up, it just went completely. But then I brought the camera outside and I headed down towards the sea about 200 meters, and I noticed that at 200 meters it was totally breaking up. It depended what way I was facing as well. I held it up like this and the signal was fairly okay, and then I held it down a little bit behind me and of course it started to break up. But I was really pushing it at 200 meters. That's twice the length that it's sort of aimed at, so I think I kind of overdid it there. I would say to kind of stick within the recommended distance, which is, you know, 400 feet, hence the name 400S, or about 100 meters. So now let's talk a little bit about latency. I think they say there's about 100 milliseconds, like 1/10 of a second latency. I'm not too sure. It appeared to me that there was slightly more latency than that. I can't give you an official amount of latency. I did do a few tests, but I did notice that it was a little bit noticeable. Obviously, composing shots and doing interviews and stuff, latency isn't really a problem. But when you're focus pulling and you want deadly accurate focus, you really want low latency. So I don't know if the latency will be sufficient for deadly accurate focus pulling. I can't be sure if my cables are the best, but you are going through two little cables and you're going through a transmitted signal as well. Now with the latency, I did notice I tried a few different settings and I actually found that at 4K 60 frames per second, there was less latency than full HD 25 frames per second. I can't for the life of me think why that is. Now when it comes to previewing the image, full HD is fine, but a lot of us want to shoot in 4K, and I think the elephant in the room in this case is the fact that it's a HD transmitter and it won't actually do 4K. Now it will do 60 frames per second in full HD, which would leave you wondering why it can't do 4K in, say, 24 frames per second. I don't really understand the full technicalities, but it would be nice to get 4K transmission. So that is a little bit of a downside for me. Now, when I switched it on, one of the first things I noticed was that the fan noise was a little bit louder than I thought it would be, and a small bit loud for having on a camera if you have a mic on the camera as well. If you have an off camera mic, it should be okay, but not obviously in this case because I have my mic right here and I have this set here. But normally if you're a few feet away it won't pick it up, but if you were using a mic mounted on the camera or even trying to mount it beside it, it's definitely going to pick it up. It is a little bit louder than I would like. I think maybe in a future version, I think the company, if they could manufacture it with a slightly quieter fan, it would be better. So who is the Mars 400S exactly for? I would say that it has sort of a broad spectrum of users, from the indie filmmaker who wants to, broadcast to a separate monitor to the director, to someone like myself, shooting interviews and stuff and doing long range shots where you might want to film yourself and you're a good distance away from the camera and you want to be able to stop and start record and preview your shot as you do it. I think it has a broad range of users there, and the fact that it's very affordably priced is great as well. You're not parting with that much cash, and it's a nice accessory to have in your camera kit bag. Definitely with the app, I think it's great if you're dealing with clients and you want to show them the previews. I think it'll really impress them there as well if you get them to download the software, or if you just hand them your mobile phone or whatever. That could be great. And of course, things like live streaming, I think it's great for that. You want to put a camera outside on a live stream, or you want to put a camera a good few feet away and mix it in with your live stream setup. I think it's brilliant for that stuff. So if you're live streaming, or if you're an indie filmmaker, or if you're just a generic filmmaker like myself who sort of does a bit of everything, I think that the Mars 400S is a very handy piece of kit. It's got lovely build quality, it works flawlessly, plug and play, instant setup, there's no hassle, and I'd highly recommend it, especially for the great price range. So that's about all from the Mars 400S. My name is Hugh Sweeney and I really appreciate you watching the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, and if you're into video and photography and all the gear that goes with it and stuff, feel free to subscribe to me, because I might have some videos of interest to you. And if you want to get involved in the conversation or ask any questions about this device, leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. So until next time folks, it's over now from me, and I'll see you.